Well, here I found this that we can play.
Enterprise. Follow her trackless journey each week on Star Trek. William Shatner stars as Captain James Kirk, Starship Commander, and Leonard Nimoy stars as Science Officer Spock, half Earthling, half Vulcanian.
Half Vulcanian.
Nice. You know, the only thing that would make that better if they were like Star Trek Wednesdays.
Yeah,
on CBS.
That's about the only thing it's missing. Yeah.
I always loved the Vulcanites.
Yeah.
Vulcanites, Vulcanians,
Yep.
Klingonese.
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
It's like they made it up.
It is. It's like they just made it up. Yeah.
It's like it's real.
Yeah,
it's
weird.
Crazy.
Yeah. It is crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back at it again. It's Trekcast.
Oh, yeah.
Galaxy's most unpredictable Star Trek podcast. I'm Chad. That's Dan. That's Daniel. So
it's Vulcania's most unpredictable Star Trek podcast.
That's it.
I think we're number one in Vulcania, right?
Did
you get
we're
the
number
numbers
one
for the week?
Yep. Oh yeah, I got to look up those chartable numbers and see.
That and Romania.
Romania, South Korea. Those are the big hotspots in the last 2 weeks.
They love us in South Korea.
Yep. Look at these funny white dudes.
Don't do voices. We discussed this.
That's right. That's a bad Chad.
Bad Chad, I know. Sorry.
Yeah.
Instead of
that may be the new hashtag.
Bad Chad, yeah.
Bad Chad.
Well, instead of doing voices, I'll let somebody else do voices for me.
I said you ought to be nicer to Will Wheaton.
So...
Oh, jeez.
Anyway.
Oh my God.
They've come for all of his shows. Anyway, okay, so
is that show still on? Is Family Guy still? Are they still making new episodes of that?
I mean, that in South Park, yeah.
Yeah. Because I saw a meme recently that said, "How is it that the generation that was raised on South Park and Family Guy is offended by everything?" and both of those shows are still in production. So I don't get it. It's weird.
See, my debate is which one's funnier.
Oh man,
I'll be honest. I haven't watched South Park in 25 years.
Forever.
Yeah.
But
I haven't watched Family Guy in about 10 years.
See, that I can remember, I would say South Park is maybe laugh louder than Family Guy ever has.
Yeah.
Well, I can say one thing for sure: the Happy Time Murders did not make me laugh out loud.
Oh, you did watch
Happy Time? Oh, is that your punishment?
That was my punishment.
That was
movie.
Yeah, I did watch it.
Did you gather the family around for
Hell
that one?
no. I have a feeling that Jim Henson would have been completely rolling over in his grave.
Oh yeah.
Had he watched that?
Yeah. I mean that's what happens when the sun is cut loose.
Apparently, yeah. That was just totally inappropriate in so many ways. Anyway, so
yeah.
I could talk about that for a while, but let's not. Instead, let's go right into what'd you say?
No, go ahead.
Let's go right into the news.
Attention all hands. It's time for Star Trek news.
All right, Daniel, take it away.
All right, so the voyage to a new Star Trek movie continues.
Oh yeah.
And now we've got a
We're still doing this.
We're still doing this.
Apparently. So this is from Variety. And new Star Trek movie in the works from Fear of the Walking Dead writer Kalinda Vazquez. Yep. So, So the Tarantino thing, who knows? Still, they haven't officially said yes or no. And the Noah Hawley is kaput, last we heard. So let's try it again. And this time they've got Fear of the Walking Dead co-executive producer Kalinda Vazquez. She's going to be writing a new Star Trek feature. We don't know what series or if it's a new crew. We don't know anything about it other than that she's writing it.
I kind of have a feeling that this one will be the one that gets made. I'll just give you my prediction right now.
Okay. She has written for Star Trek before. She wrote. She did, I think, some disco. She did the short Trek Ask Not, which I don't know if you guys remember that one. That's the one where it ends up Pike is the prisoner.
Yeah, he's got the headset thing on.
The
black,
yeah. The black
radar resistant helmet. Yeah.
yeah. She also wrote the Enterprise episode Terra Firma Part 2. So there's that. Yeah. So she wrote the one with RoboCop.
Yep.
Terra Firma was So we don't know anything else other than that she's just been hired on. So we'll see what happens. I agree with you, Chad. For some reason, I feel like this is the one that's going to go. Whether it's in theaters or if it's just on their service, that we don't know.
I think the lines between those two things
don't matter
are
anymore.
Becoming blurrier and blurrier.
Yeah, I don't think they matter anymore.
And I think we're gonna get into some of that when we talk about our topic today.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I bet. Okay, so my first prediction is this will be the one that gets made. What it's about or all that, I have no clue yet. We'll wait until we get a little bit more information before I speculate on that. But whether or not it'll go to theaters or be on Paramount Plus, I bet you it'll be on both at the same time. It'll be in theaters and be on Paramount Plus at the same time. And I think we're going to see a shift towards that, even though some film studios don't want that and some film studios seem to want that. I don't know. I think the studios themselves have seen this in the last year and a half. Have seen a perfect opportunity to make more money. Oddly enough, by making more money, we can say, well, the people that are on our platform get the movies because we'll get more subscribers that way. But we'll still put it out in theaters for those few who don't want to pay for streaming but still want to go, and we get all the revenue from that when they're over here instead of when they're over here. So,
right,
yeah, until there aren't theaters to put the movies.
There will always, and there's my other thing, there will always be theaters. There won't be as many of them. They'll be more boutique in style. They'll cost more to go to. It'll be more of that fork and spoon scenario where you can get served a beer or a Reuben before the movie starts, kind of thing. But I think that's where it's going.
What the hell is a Reuben?
A Reuben? It's a sandwich.
It's a sandwich.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Oh my Lord!
I've got cousins named Reuben.
Two pieces of sourdough bread. Okay. Buttered on the outside and grilled, and then on the inside you've got provolone cheese, Thousand Island, roast beef, grilled, and sauerkraut. Oh man.
No. First off, I don't like sourdough. Second, I don't like roast beef.
Or it's rye bread instead of sourdough.
How do you not like sourdough?
I don't like sourdough.
Well, then use rye bread instead, because that's really what it's supposed to be made with. What are we going to do with him in Vegas? What are we going to do? The only thing we're going to do with him in Vegas is have Mexican food, apparently.
Oh. I like sushi as well.
You like what? Sushi. That's true. You did say yeah. And, of course, you like pizza.
No sushi.
No
sushi.
I'm okay with sushi. We'll have sushi.
We can go to the Olive Garden.
Olive Garden. A.K.A. Italian McDonald's.
I know. That's why I said it.
Yeah.
You guys can just let me run around in the ball pit at Chuck E. Cheese.
Do they have a Chuck E. Cheese in Vegas?
Out. Oh, I bet.
We'll have to go there then if they do. That'd be funny.
Vegas is one giant Chuck E. Cheese. Just so
I know it is.
For adults.
Yeah,
I know.
That's funny.
Yeah. All right. Well, should I get to the next news
story?
Not? Okay.
I almost forgot what we were doing.
Yeah. The next news story is from StarTrek.com. And we have our first look at Star Trek Prodigy. So they released an image of some of the characters. There's 6 of them, kind of. And they've got their own gloop monster, just like the Orville. Yep. Only this one's kind of like teal and purple instead of just, green. So that's cool. They've also got a, looks like a BB-8 with legs. They've got the one guy from Blues Traveler. Yeah.
You know what this show is going to be?
What's it going to be?
This show is going to be the Spock helmet. You remember the Spock helmet?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where it was a helmet. It was a plastic helmet with a rotating red light on the top, and they slapped a sticker on it that said Star Trek. And bam, we've successfully merged Star Trek. That's what this show is going to be. It's just a kids show, and hey, let's just put the Star Trek name on it. But I don't think it's going to have anything recognizable as what we know of Star Trek.
I don't know about that.
Oh,
Janeway's in there. I mean, they're going to be on a Starfleet ship that they commandeer. So I don't know.
Commandeer. That's a nice way of saying stole.
Yep, they stole it. Yep.
Yeah.
They stole it.
I don't know. I think one of the things that was going around since that still got released, which just drove me up the wall, was all these different reporting channels talking about how there's already controversy over that show because there's no humans in the cast. And
I saw that.
And I mean, no one is pissed off because there's no humans as the main cast. That's just ridiculous. It's totally made up. It's just bullshit, is what it is, and it's so irritating when people do that. I mean, it's one thing for We Got This Covered to do it. It's another thing for Midnight's Edge to do it. But then for people,
but what we really need to know though, the Blob, is it male or female?
There's no gender.
Oh. Okay, my question was, which one of these new characters does Janeway kill first?
That's true. That's true.
That's the new show for kids. Right. Janeway murders. Right. Yeah. And our last news story, also from StarTrek.com, Star Trek Lower Decks arrives on Blu-ray and DVD. So if you don't want to get Paramount Plus, because that's what it is now, not CBS All Access, the Blu-rays, the DVDs come out May 18th. There's even going to be a Steelbook limited edition. There's going to be all sorts of behind-the-scenes documentaries and featurettes and all sorts of stuff. There's also looks like there's commentary on some of the tracks and deleted scenes and extended like rough animation. So that's cool. So this hits May 18th. Don't have a price point on it yet. But yeah, you can pre-order it on Amazon. They say, so let's see if Amazon says, okay. So on Amazon, it's $32 for the Blu-ray or $26 for the DVD.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
Not too bad.
No, not too bad.
I'm enjoying seeing the reactions from our European friends who are seeing this for the first time.
Yeah. Well, it's a fun show.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's the most fun Star Trek I've experienced in a while. I mean, I liked Picard. I had my issues with Picard, but you know, I enjoyed it, and you know my disco history.
No, you love it.
But you know, Lower Decks. Other than the language, I loved it. I loved everything about it.
Yeah. Well, season 2 will be here soon enough. I'm sure they'll have some sort of release date here soon.
Oh, I bet that's the first one we get of any of the new Treks. Is season 2
for sure.
Lower Decks.
For sure. At this point, there's no way they'd be ready with Disco. There's no way they'd be ready with Picard yet.
Yeah.
So, or Strange New Worlds for that matter. So.
Or a season of Short Treks.
They could throw that out any time. They could.
I know that's the thing. They could.
Yeah. So I don't think they will.
But they haven't said anything either.
No.
Like they haven't even said if they shot any.
Well, I'm wondering if just nobody watched those. Like the number of people who watched them versus the show was so astronomically small, they just stopped.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know that Yo, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, you know what I would love for them to do with that? Just completely throw us some curveballs. Just drop a 12-minute episode short trek that takes place during season 4 of Deep Space Nine. And then 2 weeks later, you know, drop another one that takes place on, you know, the NX-01 during season 2. And you don't have to have any of the principal characters. You can have a standalone story with 3 characters we've never met before, but the backdrop is, you know, some random time period from a show we've seen before, and maybe just have a little nugget of the story that ties into a story that we've already seen on that show. Yeah. But maybe you see it from a different point of view now.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Fill in something in the background that happened while some other major plot point was happening that we didn't know about.
Yep.
That would be great. That would be good. But, that's smart, so they won't do it. Okay.
Very true.
Yeah. Next news story, or are we done?
No, I'm done with news
That's
stories.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
that's it.
Well, we'll move right back into...
Hailing frequencies. Open.
Feedback time.
Yeah.
So we got a bunch of donations over to the coffee account over the last couple of weeks, and so that everybody knows, as of, I guess, yesterday or the day before, I don't know when exactly that was done, Daniel, if you did it on Friday or if you did it on Saturday.
I don't remember, man. It all blurs into one.
Yeah, exactly. So the coffee account has an update to it. So at this point, when you go over and want to donate to the show, you can actually set up reoccurring monthly payments. So you don't have to go back in and do it every single month. And
hold on. Are you telling me that we said we were going to do something, and then we went ahead and did it?
I know.
Yeah.
It's like the clouds parted and the sun came out. I know. That's not us. It's not us at all. But we're trying to make it easier for those of you who do get in there and donate on a regular basis. So if nobody was aware of that up to this point, when anybody donates, they had to go to the coffee account and physically go and do it every single time. And we've got a lot of guys who donate over and over and over again.
Yeah, which made it even more amazing.
Exactly.
That they would take the time to do that.
Exactly.
So thank you again.
So we appreciate that.
Thank
and
you.
we can do this on the coffee account because it's a gold coffee account, and we still have Case Gentry to thank for that, which I'll continuously thank because I think he paid for that for us for 2 years. So
something like that. Yeah.
So we really appreciate that, buddy. So
thanks.
So
man.
because of that, because of Jace's generosity, and because of Daniel getting in there and doing it yesterday, for those of you who do want to do it on a monthly occurrence, you can now do that. We've made it easier for you to do that. You don't have to; it's fine. We don't expect it. We just appreciate all the donations we get. So with that said, first one we got here about 7 days ago was from Commander Felton, who is a regular donator, and we appreciate that, sir. And
Thank you.
He said, "Enjoyed your
Thank
reboot,
you, Commander."
Yeah, he said, "Enjoyed your reboot. What's next?" And that was the Voyager reboot. So what's next? We're going to talk about something that's not Trek. Anyway. Then we got 2 days ago, we got a donation from Timothy Morris over on Twitter as Trekkie Geek. And he says, "Hey, mates, have another coffee on me, and thank you for the continuing laughs." I appreciate that. Then we got two back-to-back donations from Daryl because he never can say everything in one post. So I don't know if we've done that on purpose, as in like we just don't have enough words. And
I don't know.
I don't know. But maybe that's a smart move on our part. 250 characters or less, right? So,
count that Latin.
Yeah, exactly. So first one from Daryl says, WandaVision was an 8 out of 10, great for what it is, and you guys think Picard made the right decision not to send Hugh back with the virus, and Tuvix, it was Agatha all along. So.
That's right.
That's right. Number one on the charts for like a week on iTunes. I mean, that's crazy.
Oh, really? You could buy the.
You could listen to it, yeah. And it was number one on the charts. It was crazy.
That's funny.
I know, it was wonderful. So,
I can't wait for the Falcons song.
Yeah, there won't be one, which is kind of anyway. There's a lot there, but anyway. So
I know. Yeah.
So remind me, what the heck does he mean? And you guys think Picard made the right decision not to send Hugh back with the virus? What am I forgetting there?
He's not talking about Picard. He's talking about the actual episode where we meet Hugh for the first time.
Yeah.
And in TNG, and they find him. He's injured.
Oh, that's right.
Beverly takes him back to the ship, and they figure out a computer virus. They can send him back to the collective, destroy the whole collective, and then everyone had a change of heart and said no, because he's a person now, and we'd be using him as a weapon of war, and we're not going to do that.
Yep. And I agree.
There's a meme going around of it's Picard and Hugh meeting up on Picard, right? The show. And he looks at Hugh and he goes, "Oh, Hugh, my good friend, I'm so glad I didn't turn you into a biological weapon." And Hugh's like, "Wait, what?"
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, so his other donation. Go ahead.
Well, we got to give him our opinions. on that.
Oh yeah. Oh, my opinion was he did the right thing. That was my opinion. Picard did the right thing, not turning him into a biological weapon.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence.
Well, it's one of those slippery slope arguments, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like the atom bomb. You know, do we kill? Do we kill 100,000 people to save 1 million people?
Yes.
I'll tell you this: Picard will judge, will try to figure out the moral implications of doing this. Cisco would have just did it.
Oh yeah, he would have been done with it. The episode would have been over in 10 minutes.
That's true.
Never thought about it again.
Well, there's a difference. Picard is Picard. He thinks about it, and Cisco is.
And I killed Sparky too.
Exactly.
And I irradiated that planet too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. And yet, which one is the religious icon?
Yeah. Well, there's a good way to look at Deep Space Nine as a religious series and about the pitfalls of how violent some religions can get.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
It's nuts, man.
It is.
But, okay.
So there's a lot of gray in that Hugh thing. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
I think Picard made the right decision from the perspective of who Picard is. I don't think he could have lived with himself.
He made the Picard
decision. He made a very Picard decision. Now, is it the right decision overall? My answer is yes. I think from the Federation level, they would have looked at that and said, "You frickin' moron," and they would have done it, right? Because they don't have, and it's the same thing as the individual thought process versus a collective thought process. When it's a collective thought process, it's always, well, what's the good? What is the best thing to do for all of us? Not the best thing to do for one person's morality. It's what's the best thing to do for all of us. And there's always a pitfall there between those two different viewpoints. But
you know what I did enjoy when we I enjoyed how the next season they actually touched on that again.
Yeah.
When he was meeting with Admiral Nechayev, and she basically said, last year you had the opportunity to destroy the Borg, and you didn't. And I'm letting you know that you're under orders. That if you find yourself in a similar situation, you take them out.
Yeah.
And she was basically letting him know, you do that again, it's your ass.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was good that they didn't just glaze it over.
Well, and I'm trying to think of all the other captains we know who would make that same decision. Like Archer would do it, Kirk would do it, like take out the Borg.
Cisco would do it.
Janeway would take him out. Yeah, Cisco would do it. I think Picard's the only one that wouldn't.
Out of the major captains that we know of, yes, I think that's a very true statement, Daniel. I think the only one who wouldn't would be Picard, and everybody else most certainly would.
Some of them might him and haw about it, but ultimately they would do it.
I don't even think Chris Pine's Kirk would stall 2 seconds. I think he would just do it.
I think so too.
And I would even go so far as to say as the JJ Spock would do it.
Yeah, I think he'd be okay
would do
with
it in a heartbeat. He wouldn't even think about it. Now the Leonard Nimoy Spock probably would not.
Right.
Now, what about animated Spock? And what about emo hipster bearded Spock? We gotta.
Hipster Spock wouldn't know what the fuck's going on.
Animated Spock would call the Acme Company for some sort of bomb.
Okay, we beat that to death. Next donation from Daryl.
Yeah, we did.
He says the Tal Shiar and the Cardassian Obsidian Order seem more real these days than fiction. These are These are interesting times. And who is the secret signing this Sunday at Revolution?
Oh,
that is a good question because I have no fucking clue what he's asking. He said,
"Oh, he's talking about pro wrestling." Oh, okay. Okay. So I'll get into this. There's a lot of reports that it's going to be Kurt Angle. Now, I don't think so. I think Kurt's over the hill. My guess, because Tony Khan's got that billions of dollars, and Brock Lesnar is a businessman, it's going to be Brock. I know. We lost you guys.
Are we back now? Is WWE
over? Man! Yeah, we're done. Dan left. I know. He doesn't want to see Brock outside
I
of the
walked.
WWE.
I
but,
walked
you know.
away, and Dan actually got out of the shuttlecraft.
I know.
He wasn't outside long enough to get asphyxiated, so.
All right, I just needed a break. Chad, you came back too early. I was hoping to have Daniel by himself on the screen for a little while. Just...
All right, so now we know what that means. I had no clue. I read that. And I'm like, what in the hell? Anyway,
I knew.
Well,
it's going to be Big John Stud in a wheelchair.
Daryl, thanks for the question. That was too
that's
sweet.
awesome. Appreciate it, Daryl. Thanks for those donation, guys. Keep them coming. We've got Vegas coming up. So that's where these funds are going to get used. That's going to be great. We did get an email over to the Chad is Wrong email address. I thought it was going to be about something else, but instead it was about chess. Joel from lovely Chicago town says, first off, he says, Chad, Jordy sent me. You said you like chess, so I'd enjoy a game with you. No time limit at all. You can just play at your own pace. Have been enjoying your podcast for years. I'm a medium player and always looking to play. Lives in Chicago. So, P.S. Disco sucks. So, thanks, Joel. I didn't realize when he sent this to me 7 days ago that there was an actual link in there for a game of chess. I just noticed that this morning. So I apologize, Joel. If you want to send me another email, I'd gladly play a game of chess with you because I suck at it and could always use the help. So I love it, but I suck at it.
Well, I've got an email from Zachary Thompson. He says, just listen to the Voyager reboot episode. It was great. You guys came up with better series ideas than the actual show did. While listening, I had an idea. Since Tuvok was a spy for the Federation and Sesko was a spy for the Cardassians, wouldn't it have been cool if Chakotay had a marquee spy on Voyager that was going to help him evade capture?
That
That's
is
kind
a
of
good
cool
idea.
Yeah.
And plot twist, Chakotay is a woman. Just nobody knows.
Yeah. With a giant face tattoo. Yeah. But that's all the feedback I've got. The other feedback I have is based off our topic because I posted that in the group.
All right, so that's it for the feedback, and I guess we're rolling into topic. Is that how we do this now? We go into the topic?
Yeah, let's go to the topic. Yeah.
No, we're not. Okay, so.
Well, kinda.
Kinda. I don't know how, but all right.
That's nerdy.
Yeah. Well, that's who we are. So I mean, like, we could talk about anything. And anyway, so all right. So this week we're talking about WandaVision, and we're talking about the finale just happened on Friday night. So if you're tuning into the show and you haven't watched the finale or you haven't watched any WandaVision,
spoilers.
Yeah, you need to just stop right now and don't listen to the next 30, 45 minutes. Instead, go watch WandaVision all the way through if you haven't, or watch the finale if that's all you've got left over on Disney Plus. Then come back and listen to us opine. So with that said, I mean, I'll just start off by saying one quick thing about the finale. Wah, wah.
What do you mean? Wah, what?
Yeah. Okay.
Shut up.
It's not your fault that you had theories that didn't happen.
This has nothing to do with theories. I haven't read anybody's opinions online about it. I haven't watched anything on YouTube about what people thought of the finale or a breakdown or any of that kind of stuff. I've stayed away from all of that because I wanted my own thoughts to come through on this. And my first feeling after watching it was kind of like, really, that's it? That's my first thought. And I can expand on that as we get into it. But all right. Yeah, that's how I felt when I watched it.
So you guys read? Were you avid comic book readers at any point in your life?
Not really.
Junior high and high school.
Okay. So for me, what I thought about all this was I thought in comics, there's normally like a big event, and then there's what they call tie-in comics that kind of only loosely connect to what's going on. WandaVision is a tie-in comic, and I think that's what all these shows are going to be. They're going to be tie-in comics, which they do connect to the main thing, but they're not the main thing, right? So that may be why you were disappointed, Chad. We're also coming off of the Infinity Saga ending, right? So, like, unless it's that, it's not going to match up with everything that's
no.
gone
I don't
on.
think. I don't think my meh feeling is about that. I don't think my meh feeling is about that.
Well, what is it? What's your?
Well,
what's your meh
I mean, Agatha
from?
is basically just a witch, and
Which is the comics.
Whatever. I have
she's
no
the
idea.
witch.
But yeah, so she's a witch, and so now we've got witches and wizards, even more so in the Marvel universe than we already did with Doctor Strange. And now we've got Scarlet Witch supposedly being this. I mean, basically what they've done there is they've turned what's her name from X-Men, who was the Dark Phoenix or whatever. Yeah,
Jean
they've
Grey.
turned Jean Grey into
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch, right? So I mean, it's the same type of thought process there. So because she's apparently evil and going to be the end of times and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the Scarlet Witch is the
right,
Phoenix
and so now
Force
the Scarlet Witch is going to be evil in some way, shape, or form. So. I mean, that part's okay, I guess, but it was just kind of like all that setup, all that stuff they did that was so unique and so different over the course of all the other episodes. And the final episode, it just seemed like very, okay, that was that, and off we go. And now there's some other thing that, behind it as far as her possibly being evil. But it just seemed like all the other ideas that they had for this show were so unique and so well thought out. That ending didn't feel very original to me. It just felt like very, you could see that kind of come in now and whatever. I don't know. It wasn't as unique and original or special as what the rest of the entire show was, which I would have thought leading up to that they would have had some, I don't know, just a different way of ending it than what they did. All these other theories and other stuff, how it was going to end and all that. I don't care. Whatever. They can do whatever they want with it. It's fine. But it just felt very. It felt flat. It just felt flat. I don't know. I guess there's no other way to really describe it now that I'm kind of walking through it openly on the mic. But it felt kind of flat to me. And they did leave a few things open, but I don't mean like from the previous episodes. I mean like during this episode, they left a few things open. And didn't even wrap up inside the own finale, which was what happened to White Vision. That's it.
He took off.
He's gone. Just took off.
Yeah.
He'll be back.
I'm sure.
We'll see him again.
We'll see him in another movie.
And I had thought, and I guess that's part of why at first I was like, what the hell? But I had thought until I watched the final 2 extra scenes that were the extra scenes, like after 6 minutes of credits, there was a scene. And then after another 3 minutes of credits, there's another scene. I had thought that this was a limited series, as in this was a 1 season only, and there wasn't going to be anything else. That's what they've stated a few times, anyway. So and maybe there won't be. Maybe there'll be a movie her movie anyway, that will clear up some of this stuff later, and that's fine.
That's Doctor Strange.
I think. Yeah.
You think so?
She's in Doctor Strange too.
Okay.
She's on the movie poster right next to him, so we know that that's going to be picked up there.
Yeah.
But whatever other Avengers movie they do down the road, I'm sure they'll pop up. The other thing is WandaVision is its own thing. But that doesn't mean, there's not going to be another 9-episode movie next year, a 9-episode TV show next year. Not called WandaVision, has half of the same characters.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I think our ideas of, this is a motion picture, this is a TV series, this is a movie of the week, I think all of those things are kind of being reimagined right now.
Yeah.
So there is no WandaVision season 1. This is WandaVision. And there'll be another show a year from now called Vision Quest or whatever.
Yeah.
It's about Vision, or there's another show called, Scarlet Annihilation or whatever. I don't know, whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's a movie. It's just a 9-part movie that's streaming on Disney Plus. That's how I kind of look at it.
Just like Falcon and Winter Soldier, they're not going to do a season 2 or 3 or.
Yep.
Although they have said they're going to do multiple seasons of Loki.
Yeah.
So.
I wonder what goes into their decision to decide that. I mean, I guess that's the one unique thing about the Marvel universe itself, is that it's pretty much the only franchise that's really doing this and doing it correctly. And they plan these things out, they're planning these things out against one another over time as well, so that things later.
Well, they're used to that from comics.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's the thing, you know, when they sit around a round table at the comics, you know, at DC or Marvel or whatever, and they're shooting ideas back and forth. It's like, hey, I have an idea to do this story, and they brainstorm a little bit, and then they decide, you know what, this is a 12-part story, so we're going to do this as a special. It's not going to be in anybody's regular title. It's going to be a 12-part, you know, miniseries because we need 12 issues to tell this story. And then other ideas, they say, no, this is like a 3-issue story. We're going to do this as a mini arc inside the regular Batman title.
Yep.
Or this, you know what, we need 24 issues to tell this. Okay, well, you know what, Superman has 4 titles, so they come out, there's one every week, so it's going to take X amount of time. You know what I'm saying? And with this new situation, they can do the same thing with movies and television. They can sit down at Disney and say, I want to tell this story about Wanda and the Vision, and this is my idea for it. Okay, well, we think you might need 7 hours of footage to show that. So we're going to do this as we can't cram that into a regular movie.
Right.
So we're going to do it as this mini series, this 1-season mini series thing.
Well, and originally they were only going to have 6 episodes of WandaVision, but they had so much they made it 9 episodes.
Yeah.
So.
And that's the other thing with streaming. You know, it used to be you had a half-hour show, which meant 22 minutes of footage, or we have a hour-long drama, so it's 44 minutes or 46 minutes of footage. You know, they've kind of moved away from that in recent years, especially with streaming episodes, where it's okay, effectively tell the story. We effectively told the story, and this episode is 51 minutes long. And then next week, effectively tell the story. Oh, this episode's 38 minutes long. Oops, whatever.
Yeah.
And that kind of makes for a better experience. You just tell the story the best way you can. Forget about the time restraints.
That's one thing that my wife pointed out to me, because she watched this the whole time, all the way through as well. Every Friday night we watched it, and you know
or as Zack Snyder said, tell the story. Here's 4.5 hours.
Exactly,
yeah, exactly.
You know, whenever we sit down to watch the show, she got to where she kind of understood that intrinsically without thinking about it, and she'd be like, "Oh, once it got started, she'd tell me to pause it. How many minutes is this one?" And so sometimes you'd see 31, sometimes you'd see 38, and then these last 2, especially this one, I think this one was like an hour and 10 minutes or something like that. Well, so when we paused it about 3 minutes in and saw it had like an hour and 10 minutes left to go, she was like, "Ooh, this should be good then," you know, because it's long.
I think that's why they initially dropped 2 episodes the first night, because they both followed, those first 2 episodes both followed the sitcom format, you know, because there was no outside world for the viewer at that point.
Yeah. Right.
So they were just following the sitcom format. So they were, you know, 22 minutes. And it's like, you know, we've been playing this up for people for months and months and months.
Yeah.
If we drop an episode and it's 20 minutes of content, they're going to flip out. Yep. We better do the first 2.
Yeah.
Which was a good idea, I think.
I think so too. Plus those were the only 2 that were like that. So like it kind of got it out of the way, and then
Yep.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, I enjoyed the series. I don't mean to poo-poo it too much on the finale, but I mean, it's unique, that's for sure.
Yeah, I liked it too. We've got some feedback on it too. Phil says that he really liked how Vision straight up Captain Kirk the White Vision by talking about philosophy until he buggered off.
Yeah,
it's true. Yeah.
Well, there's another Star Trek reference in there too. I mean, he totally Wrath of Khan'd him at the end, where he's like, "Here, let me touch your forehead."
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me touch your forehead so that I can be back at a later date.
And
which
then
we'll have to elaborate on that a little bit, because I want to get your opinions on what you think actually happened there.
Okay.
And then Mike Medina says that the journey was more interesting than the destination.
Yeah. I agree, Mike.
Yeah.
And that's the case with a lot of things in life, though, isn't it? I mean, I mean, just apply that to women for a minute, Mike, because I know you'll think about the same way I do. Right? Sometimes the thrill of the chase is better than the catch.
These opinions are Chad's and only Chad.
Yep. The opinions expressed by the hosts of Trekcast are not necessarily the opinions of
Trekcast. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not wrong. It's not wrong.
Hey, show us that wedding photo again.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one thing that I thought was interesting is that so the last scene is her in a cabin in the woods, right?
Yeah.
Doctor Strange 2 is going to be directed by Sam Raimi, who got famous for making a movie about a cabin in the woods. So,
I have to be honest. When they were doing the slow approach to that cabin, I was like, "All right, is this Wolverine trekking through
That's what I thought.
Alkali Lake?" Because we've all been speculating. Oh, they're bringing the X-Men in. They're bringing the X-Men in, and that was.
Yeah, see, they kind of killed that. They kind of killed that in that episode.
Well, even the parallel universes they killed, because that was just Ralph.
It was just Ralph. Yeah.
Yeah. I was a little disappointed that there was no explanation for that. Ralph apparently is just the guy whose house Agatha took over, but there's no explanation as to why he looks like X-Men universe Quicksilver. And for such a big reveal halfway through the season, X-Men Quicksilver, to just have no payoff for that was kind of kind of disappointing.
It was
very disappointing.
Well, they set up all these different tie-ins and then
Boner.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
Ralph
totally
Boner.
killed him on purpose, which I mean, some of that I'm okay with. I've told you guys what my writing style is. You set someone up to be like the main person or whatever that everybody loves in whatever story you're writing, and then you kill that person. So,
the J.J.R. Martin School of Writing.
That's kind of I kind of enjoy that sometimes, but in this case, I think that is part of what made it kind of unsatisfying. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of directions it could have gone that would have been as original as all the other episodes that came before it, and they didn't pick any of them, like not a single one. So, which is fine. I mean, it's their right to do that, and it's okay. It could have been more. It could have been an in-game style, oh my God, kind of ending. There could have been Wolverine in the shed. There could have been somebody else there. It could have been Doctor Strange, for shit's sake, since she's going to be in that movie. It could have been a lot of different things.
Yeah, I thought for sure he was going to pop up at some point.
Well, they can still connect it, because they can just say that, like, well, in this dimension that's Ralph, in other dimensions it's her brother. So I feel like they left themselves up. Yeah.
So they can get as complicated
it's a little bit of retconning
as they want, obviously. And they can overcomplicate it and make it very stupid and confusing. So,
which comic books do that? So, yeah. I liked the series. I thought it was a lot of fun. Some of my highlights were Baby Vision. And yeah. I liked when they did the Modern Family episode where they were all talking to the camera.
Yeah,
that was kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I always like Kat Dennings.
I like when Vision, kind of comes to his senses. What am I doing here? Why am I talking to you? It just rips the mic off and walks away.
Yeah. I think we have some unanswered questions too. Like, who was Jimmy guy that he was after? Because he said I was looking for a person in witness protection or something.
I'm wondering if that's Ralph.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Because just looking at the way he was acting when he was up in the attic with her, I think he seems the least like someone who lives in Westview. Like he was placed there.
Yeah. Maybe.
That's a good way to finish that storyline out, right? And tie it up.
Yeah.
That and when she says Ralph Boner and he laughed at his own name.
Yeah.
Because it's not his name. It was the one that was given to him.
That's a great point.
By the FBI.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So then he could be Pietro.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I don't know how you do that.
I don't know.
Because Pedro was in an even different time frame. Just different time, right? So I mean, whatever.
Did you just say Pedro?
Did you vote for him?
Pedro, whatever his name is.
Did he give you his protection?
Vote for Pedro.
Are we mad that Mephisto isn't in there?
We mad that what?
Mephisto wasn't in the show?
I don't even know what Mephisto
is. I think he was. Because in the comics, in the comics, her children, a portion of their souls, or their soul is a portion of his soul, or something. Right. So I mean, we see in the end that she's reading the Darkhold and scanning the ether, trying to find out if there's a way to bring her kids back, and she hears them.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
So, I mean, they still exist somewhere. Yeah. Whether it's as a part of him or in an alternate dimension, and perhaps that is the tie-in to Doctor Strange 2. She finds them in another dimension, and she's attempting to pull them out and wreaking havoc across the multiverse. And here comes Doctor Strange to say, no, you can't do that.
So that's why they set her up as the villain, essentially.
Yeah, because she's trying to save her kids.
I don't think she's going to be the villain, though.
I think so. I think to shoot for a movie or two, she will be she may even be like the threat for like phase 4, and then end it with her like for sure like, now I have control of my power. Now I'm good. We're good to go.
Sorry that I killed 2/3 of you.
Yeah, something like that. No. I don't know. What do we think that Falcon and Winter Soldier are going to be able to match up to this? Because it feels like two completely different things at this point.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, that's going to just be like a cops and robbers show comparatively.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting. It'll be cool. I'll watch it. But like I said, no, there's no way that it reaches the same level in culture as WandaVision did.
Yeah.
It's not going to have a song that hits number 1 on iTunes chart for a week and a half. It's not, you know what I mean? I mean,
I can't wait for the Falcon to do a reggae song, because that's in my head. That's what he's gonna do.
Worry.
Well, wait, you know what? He was an 8 Mile. He was an 8 Mile. Yeah, Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
So he's gonna underground rap Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. I don't know enough about it. I don't know enough about what it's supposed to be.
It looks like Mission Impossible as a TV series is what it looks like to me.
I mean, it looks like a cop buddy type.
It's the MCU's 24.
Action. Yeah, but I think it has more comedy. I think it's the MCU's Lethal Weapon.
Yeah,
is what it is.
Oh, you think it's got more comedy in it?
Oh yeah. Those two couldn't stand each other in Civil War. And some of the scenes between them, it was like, all right, you know what it is? You ever have a really good friend and
you just make fun of all the time?
No. You have a really good friend, and you really like this friend, and he really likes you, and he has another really good friend.
Oh yeah.
But you really don't like him. That guy's not your friend. He's your friend's friend. And that's the situation here. You have two guys. They're both buddies with Captain America, but they don't like each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where the drama comes from, and I think that's where the comedy comes from.
The new trailer.
But at the same time, when they're sitting in the car together and Cap's making out with the blonde, they're both like, "Yeah, that's my buddy," right?
There's a new trailer out for Falcon and Winter Soldier. And it's the two of them, and they're like, well, what are we, our partners? Are we a teamwork or teammates? And Falcon just looks at him and goes, we're coworkers. Like, yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah, we'll see. It's next week, right? 14th?
So back. Oh, is it? It's that soon?
It's in a week. Like, this Friday is going to be a making of WandaVision, and then the next Friday it starts up
Oh
again.
no, I thought it was a Sunday night thing instead of a Friday night because Wanda's was Friday.
Oh, I don't know when
it
it
says
is.
it said 3/14, so it's a Sunday night release. Don't know why they changed it up, but
Sunday night, which is essentially Monday morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh well.
So, what do you think's going on with White Vision?
I think that he is trying to figure himself out, just like Wanda, and then he's going to figure out who he is, and then Wanda's going to figure out who she is, and they get back together.
Yeah.
I hope he's not white moving forward because that's just a creepy, evil look.
I mean, that's the comics,
that
man.
That was temporary in the comics as well.
The official release date is March 19th for Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is a Friday.
Okay, so they did push it back a full week. I thought
Yeah.
well, that's good. That's good to keep it on Fridays. That's nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem. Figured the listeners would want an accurate date.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about this White Vision thing. And, he is the physical Vision. He's the body of the Vision that we saw in the movies. He contains the data and experiences of that Vision. And now, thank you to WandaVision, Spock in his brain, he now has the actual memories of that data.
Right.
Correct?
Did he transfer that data, or was it always there and he just helped him unlock it?
He unlocked it.
No, he unlocked it.
That's what I was thinking too.
He unlocked it. Now, here's the thing. After that, his eyes were different.
Yeah.
He had human-like eyes instead of robotic-like eyes. So does that mean that he is the Vision from the movies? Now he's restored, or is there something else that's missing still?
I think he's going to be different because he doesn't have the Mind Stone anymore. So he's not quite that Vision.
Okay.
But he's going to be like a new version of it.
When she deconstructed her imaginary Vision, when she was deconstructing the whole town, and the focal point was the living room in the house that she built. So that was the last. That was the last area to collapse, and he was the last person that she created to collapse. Everything collapsing around her was bright red, like her power, except for him. He was yellow. The energy that he was turning into was yellow as it went back inside of her. And if I remember correctly, that's the color of the energy that the Mind Stone produces. And she told him, when he said, "What am I?" and she said, "You're my this, you're my that, you're my love, you're the small portion of the Mind Stone that lives within me." So my prediction is the Vision that she sucked back inside of her plus White Vision who flew off equals original Vision, as it'll be the body, the experiences, the memories, and the soul that she placed into the holographic Vision that she created.
Oh, they're going to do a deal where they need each other. She's going to go so far off the deep end. They bring in White Vision. He grounds her to being a good guy again. And then because she's got his goodness or his mind stone, she reconnects him or puts him back together. So that's what they're going to do. They need each other.
I guess I don't recall that how did she get a piece of the Mind Stone in her in the first place?
That's how she got her powers.
Oh,
yeah, the Mind Stone is what gave her her powers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right.
But when I say piece, or when she said piece, like a portion of the power, not like a shard of the Mind Stone, but a portion of the power.
Had some powers to begin with.
Now they've retconned it that way, that she's a mutant. Yeah. She's a mutant. Originally, it was she was experimented on by Hydra, and the Mind Stone gave her powers. But these flashbacks showed her that everyone else they tried to do that to
died.
Right.
she didn't because there was something different about her.
Right.
Meaning
She's a mutant.
She's a mutant.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, they still found a way to kind of bring in a little bit of the mutant storyline, somewhat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then my other thought is, White Vision could be Vision. He's complete. He's complete at this point because after they mind melded, they're looking at each other and they're tilting their heads. They're mirroring each other as they were looking in each other's eyes. Okay. That's what it was.
Yeah. That's what it was.
That's what it was. It was a mind meld. So I think that was, they suddenly had an understanding. There was no other words were spoken between the two of them after that. They locked eyes, they kind of tilted heads together, and then White Vision flew off. And Fake Vision told Wanda, I'll see you again. And I think what he meant was, I'm here, but I'm also there.
Yeah. Right.
I think he
just
sent.
Like Ultron.
Yes. Well, you know what? My son picked that up. My son said, "Daddy, he tilted his head just like when Vision looked at Ultron. They tilted their heads together at the same time." Yeah. So, I think Fake Vision sent White Vision away. Mm-hmm. I'll handle things here. I have to go away, but she's going to need you at some point. Mm-hmm. So you'll have to come back to her, and that's why he told her, "I've been this, I've been that. Who knows what I'll be next, but." I'll see you again or whatever.
Well, and even in Infinity War, they said, if we remove the stone, maybe even the best parts are left. Mm-hmm. And so now that the stone's gone, he's going to be an even better Vision somehow.
Mm. Yeah.
That's what they're going to say. I mean, it may not be accurate, but yeah.
Well, it was interesting.
So you think Agatha is going to show up in the
movies?
In the movies. I mean, she said, you're going to need me. She said, well, I'll know who you are. You're going to be right here.
Yeah, but I don't. I guess they could. Obviously they left it open for a reason, but I don't need any more Agatha.
My other question is the FBI comes in and they arrest what's his name from Sword.
Oh, Hayward.
How do they have jurisdiction?
Yeah, but well, my question is, what are they charging him with, though? What crime did he commit? You can't just run up and arrest people, right?
I mean, you can, but it doesn't stick.
I don't know what you would charge him with, other than endanger, maybe doing something reckless or not following a proper chain of command.
He did kidnap a federal agent.
He what?
He kidnapped Jimmy Woo. He tried to detain him, and
but you would think Sword would have authority over the FBI. If he feels like the FBI is interfering in his jurisdiction, he would have every right to detain him.
Oh, I hope the next season is Daredevil coming to prosecute this case. That'll be She-Hulk.
She's
also a lawyer.
It'll be She-Hulk.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be the next series. She-Hulk, Attorney at Law.
Yeah. Well, that is going to be a series. That's for real. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't know.
God, I would love if they make her a prosecutor. Just all the side movies that she's prosecuting the cases.
Yeah, would be
That'd be great. The Abominations on the stand.
Law and Order
MCU.
Is.
Yep.
Yeah. Law and Order MCU. Yeah.
She-Hulk, Criminal Minds.
Yeah.
Only she's based out of Miami, so she can be on a beach in a bikini every once in a while, as She-Hulk. Yeah.
Fine with me. Yeah.
So anyway, yep.
That's fine.
All right. Any other things we want to cover on this? What are we missing? What are we forgetting?
Oh, you got to talk about the movie, man. Your punishment movie. You got to give your book report to the class.
I expected it. It's Happy Time Murders, and
right, and because you lost, Tom Brady won.
Remind me.
That's right.
I
really care.
I expected it to be horrible, because that's what it was. You were supposed to pick for me, was a horrible movie to watch as punishment, and it wasn't great. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't great, but it wasn't horrible either. It was just kind of in this, what am I watching? Kind of weird kind of area.
Like a bad train wreck.
Yeah, I mean the story and the plot was decent enough, I suppose. And it's for those of you who haven't watched it, don't. I can sum it up for you in a few seconds. You don't need to watch the movie.
It's on Netflix. It's free.
Yeah, you can go keep. Yeah, there's definitely plenty of shock moments, like when the cow is getting milked. It's a puppet cow that's getting milked, and it's basically a porno. So it's not to be watched with your kids for any stretch of the imagination, and it's pretty much, Brian Henson given license to do all the bad things with puppets that he's always wanted to do in life. And he does it. So that's a lot. Every few minutes, he's doing something naughty with a puppet. That's pretty much what that show's about. It's like he had a list of jokes and made a movie. Exactly. And the only time I laughed out loud in the whole movie was the scene where Melissa McCarthy is getting suspended because she's a cop. She gets suspended from her office. She's a detective, and she gets put on suspension. And when she's leaving the office, she's pointing out to everybody else in the office, Phil, you're a jackass, and Bill, I hate you, and you snort coke, and no one knows. She's doing that kind of stuff as she leaves. But then she gets over to Doug, and she goes, Doug, I would have had sex with you, and walks out. And then the camera pans to Doug. Well, it's Melissa McCarthy's husband in real life. And he's like, you still could? And someone else throws something at him. He looks around and goes, no, really, she still could. That's the only time I laughed out loud. The rest of it was just kind of well, I guess I did laugh out loud when Phil, whatever his name is, he's the detective. He's a puppet, and he winds up having sex with another puppet in his office, and because he's a private eye. Oh yeah. And when they get done, it's the classic can of string funfetti stuff, it's getting everywhere. Shot all over the wall as if that's him finishing. It's just it was you could see that coming 10 minutes before it happened.
And this, kids, is why you don't bet on football.
Yeah. So, I mean,
exactly.
And that's it. That's the entire movie. There's no other point to it other than Jenny McCarthy, who's apparently got to be in every Melissa McCarthy movie in some way, shape, or form. Has a love for puppets, and nobody else in this whole world does. So I don't get that.
No, it wasn't Jenny McCarthy. It was Elizabeth Banks.
Oh, Elizabeth Banks. I always get those two confused. Yeah. Elizabeth Banks. Yeah. So don't ask me why I get them confused. I just do.
No, whatever.
Yeah. So, but no, it wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. I expected it to be worse.
No, it's not the worst, but it's not great.
No, it's not. And it's just so inappropriate for the sake of being inappropriate that it's odd. It's odd.
Yeah.
So, and like I said,
it was either going to be this movie or Jack with Robin Williams.
Jack with Robin Williams. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
All right.
So no, don't go watch Happy Time Murders. It's free over on Netflix. Go watch it, and then anyway, even though you probably shouldn't, it's probably the most inappropriate movie for the sake of being inappropriate. And like I said, if Jim Henson was alive, he'd be rolling over. Well, he's not alive. He'd be rolling over in his grave if he ever watched this thing, put together by his son. So if that's what puppets have come to in this world, then oh boy. So
yeah, it's pretty bad.
It is. So
yeah. All right. Well, is that basically the show?
I guess that's the show.
I think so.
Yeah.
A good one. Hour and 5 minutes. That's about as short as we've gotten lately. So.
Yeah, it works out. Well, cool.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
That is Trekcast. Be sure to send us an email at trekcasttng@gmail.com. Shoot us a voicemail over at 816-287-0448. You can always email, also at the Chat is Wrong Gmail. And then, of course, you can also follow us over on Instagram or the Twitters at TrekcastTNG. And that is it for the show.
Well, there you have it. Another episode in the can. Check us out at Trekcast.com. Also, if you would, please subscribe to us via iTunes. Leave those reviews. Subscribe to us. We'll get some numbers, get up the list, get more listeners, do more shows, have more fun. But for now, we're all done. So live long and prosper, and we'll see you next week.